If you've been listening to the podcast for a while and thought, man, I would love to grab a drink and pick the brain of some of these guests I've been listening to, or maybe me as well, here's your shot. I'm putting on an event this April called Elevate. This is the third year doing this, and we're going to be in Phoenix, Arizona, where we're going to have the top agency owners really come together, share what's working, get real on what's not, and really help each other scale faster. So if you're ready to finally get out of the weeds and grow your agency the right way, I want you to join me and 50 other amazing 7 and 8 figure agencies at Elevate. You'll connect with people who've been there, leave with a real growth plan, and actually enjoy the process. Now, we only have a few tickets left, so make sure you go over to elevatemyagency.com to lock in your spot now. Go to elevatemyagency.com now. Hey, Vishal, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jason. Great to be here. Super excited.
Yeah. Tell us who you are, what you do.
So I'm director of digital marketing at E2M Solutions, and I work with like more than 100 agencies scaling their SEO services. We've got a team of around 40 plus people in digital marketing, including SEO and PPC, and I help them with operations, with sales and everything.
Awesome. Well, today I wanted to have you on the show, and I wanted to talk about what's the difference between AI optimization and SEO, because there's a lot of chatter and a lot of worry as well. So what's your thought on that?
Yeah, I mean, that's $1 million question. And there's a lot of buzz going on in the industry that, we are already doing SEO and what's different, in AI search optimization or GEO. There are a lot of fancy names going on like AEO and everything like that. But yeah, I'll just give you an understanding. So before we dive into the details of it, I'll just give you an understanding that remember back in the days, the SEO was like really popular where people used to go in, do some of the basic stuff and started ranking. Right now, what has happened after that is like Google started introducing a lot of algorithms and protocols. So just to make sure that they're giving like correct information to the users. So how it evolved is like, now people who are targeting the keywords like user intent on the website, or they were producing the content with keyword targeted, producing some backlinks, and major focus was on Google, right? They just wanted to focus on getting the ranks for Google, getting the website traffic up. Now, how it changed when it comes to GEO is like basically you are not optimizing for Google, but you are optimizing for all the other platforms, including ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude, right? Because you don't know that where your users are searching for, right? And they are just not going to be on Google, but they will be searching on ChatGPT. Someone will be searching on ChatGPT that, hey, what are the top roofers in my area, right? Give me a recommendation. Someone in searching in ChatGPT or let's say Google AI mode that, I want to buy running shoes for under 5K, give me some recommendations, right? So now what you are doing is basically you are not optimizing just for one platform, but you are optimizing for all the other platforms. You are bringing in the strategy, which is like a multimedia strategy, where I'll give you an example is like how Google's AI mode works. That basic principle is like Google's query fan out technique. So how it works is basically now when you search for, let's say, best running shoes under 5K, you are entering that query into Google's AI mode. In the backend, Google will break down that queries into multiple queries like best running shoes for 5K, and then it will crawl the internet real time. Now in SEO, it used to be, getting the data from the index data, right? Now in SEO, it will go to the web, it will search that what are the reviews of, certain products, like how people are talking about it on the internet, what are the user generated content, how people are talking about on Quora, Reddit, or any other platforms. Summarize that particular information. And after that, it will also include the follow-up questions that user is going to ask. So now summarizing that information and getting it back to the user anticipating that you are also going to ask the follow-up questions. So now you need to make sure that you are visible across those platforms, and then you are answering those questions. Not only those questions, but you are also answering the follow-up questions in your website content or any other platforms that you are basically mentioned on. So it's just not one strategy that's going to work, but it's going to be combination of everything, like how your brand is getting mentions across internet, how your authority is, how subject matter expert that you are, and then there are chances that you will getting mentioned in the LLMs.
I almost look at it in the next coming months and years. You almost have to have kind of almost two websites, it seems like. One that's optimized for AI, and then one that you actually send out to people. I almost see a future where, like, for example, if I was looking to fix my toilet and I'm going to go to ChatGPT and, like, how do I fix this? And it's going to give me an answer versus, right? And it's going to show me, like, all right, Jason, turn the water off, do this step by step. I found out what I was looking for versus how about a year ago, I would have just said, Durango plumber. And then I would have to call a plumber in, right? Because I would go to their website, call a bunch of people wouldn't call me back, right? Which is always, I hate those people. Like, really, like, you have good marketing and you won't call people back. And so I kind of see it that way where websites aren't going away because, like, for example, like our event coming up in Elevate, like I have to have a website that I send to people. Be like, here's all the detail, here's all this stuff. But maybe AI doesn't rank that. Like, it just says, you were looking for something to fix your agency, you're going to say something, and then maybe AI says, oh, you might want to check out Jason Swank's Elevate in Phoenix or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's a great example, and that's how people search. Let's say, for example, if someone is coming to Austin and they will search on ChatGPT that what are the next digital agency events happening in Austin, right? And then you already have a website and you are already getting mentioned on social media about this event. You are mentioning it on your, let's say, LinkedIn or Twitter, or let's say you are mentioning on the website as well. Then that particular information, combination of that particular information will summarize the answer and give that answer to that particular user that, hey, these are the events happening in Austin. Your Elevate event will be there, that this is what is happening in the Elevate, and give the summary. So now what is happening is, like, that particular user will find the information, but it's not coming on directly, that, like, mentioning your event, but ChatGPT is kind of recommending it to that particular user. So now what conversion that you are getting will be, like, pretty high.
Yeah. So let's kind of transition to the next part, which is a pain in the ass, I think, for a lot of agencies. We've been reporting on your ranking over the years, which obviously they're, could still be in position 1 and 2, but their traffic has gone way down. Like HubSpot reported their website traffic went, way down, but I don't think their impressions went down because I still think people are seeing them in chat or in AI models and that kind of stuff when people ask. So how do agencies report back to their clients that do SEO and GEO or whatever we fucking want to call it, right? Like, how do they report back?
Yeah. I mean, that's a great question, and we've get this question a lot because the primary reason is that organic traffic is going down, right? And that's the reality. Now, how SEOs used to report to the client back is like, hey, your organic traffic is going up, your keywords are going up, you're ranking for certain keywords and everything like that. But now when we talk about AI search optimization, GEO, right, then you don't want to consider those metrics going forward. And it is like, this is the time that you educate your clients that, how the search is evolving. how people are searching your brand on internet. So for example, let's say you are not getting an organic traffic, but then your conversions are going up, right? Your brand is getting mentioned in LLMs, right? So these are the KPIs that is going to change, is like how many leads you've got, how much referral traffic you've got from ChatGPT or Perplexity or any other LLMs. You can see in your GA4 data or Search Console data as well, and report back to it. What we did differently is like, we started checking the server logs, that how many times the LLM bots are hitting on your website, right? And what are the pages that LLM bots are hitting on your website? That means that your website is visible to LLMs. They are visiting your website. They are getting it, cited on the LLMs. So now the really important thing here is like, you start educating the clients from now on that these KPI is going to change. You don't want to, measure the organic traffic going forward. Definitely, your organic traffic will go down, like you mentioned about HubSpot and all the other websites. Your impressions will go up, and then even if your conversions go down, that will be like quality conversion. So, for example, like earlier, you used to get like 10 form submissions or 10 phone calls. Out of that, like, five were like qualified, like MQLs, which are like appropriate to your business. Now, what will happen is like you may get like five conversions, five phone calls, or five form submissions, but out of that, four will be like qualified. So your conversions coming from LLM will be really, really quality. So that needs to be educated to the clients, and definitely that needs to be, a KPI that needs to be educated to the agencies as well. That this is how the time is going to change, and this is how we are going to report back.
Yeah, I see a lot more people finding us on, AI chats,
Yeah.
and which is really good. And when they chat with us, what my team's been telling us is they've never heard of us in the past, which is great, right? Like we're
Yeah.
reaching a new audience, but they're more qualified, but they take longer because obviously they haven't been seeing our stuff. We've always been on the top of the search engines for, I always hate the word coaching and mastermind and that kind of stuff, but we've been on the top there. But it's just interesting to see new people coming in through AI. What are things that agencies can do for their clients to get them, ranked? Is it going back to some of the old school SEO stuff like markup languages and similar as and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, that will be combination of both, right? You definitely want to do the traditional SEO fundamentals of SEO. You definitely want to make sure that you have a clean website. You are providing a lot of information on your website, right? And then you are focusing on building the authority for the website. Now, the added thing that you want to do here is like you also want to focus on all the other platforms as well. Like I mentioned, that you need to make sure. I'll give you an example of E2M, our own website, that back in 2023 we realized that this is how it's going to pan out, this is how it's going to change. So what we did first is like we did a content audit. We saw that, whether we are answering all the questions on our website or not, what are the platforms that we are getting featured on, or what are the kind of websites that we are getting featured on. We did the complete audit. Now what we did is like we asked LLMs that, hey, what do you think about E2M, or what are the best white label WordPress providers in the states, or what are the top names associated with E2M, right? And how the sentiment is going on. So we analyze all those answers. We saw if the E2M is getting mentioned over there or not. If not, then what are the competitors are getting mentioned. Now we did the reverse engineering, that how these competitors are, mentioned on what particular platform. So for example, if a competitor is mentioned on any other platform which is like high authority and we are not, we'll try to get mentioned from that particular platform. Or let's say if someone is talking about us on Quora or Reddit and we are, that's called like unlinked mention. So even if you are not linking, people are talking about your brand, mentioning it on like user generated platforms, then it's going to help as well. Manish brand, they were like featured on a lot of podcasts and webinars and everything. So we took advantage of that. Build
You're welcome,
strong.
Manish.
Yeah. So we built like a strong presence on all these platforms. And that's how we've cracked the code and started ranking on LLM. So the difference is basically, as I mentioned, you don't just want to focus on one part. You also want to audit what's currently going on your website and how you are producing the content. Are you answering the questions that people are asking, or are you just optimizing for the keywords? Because if you're optimizing for the keyword, it's not going to work. You need to answer the questions. People are going to ask the questions to LLMs, and LLMs will not crawl the website. It will get the summary of the answer, right? So if you're answering those questions, there are chances you will get there.
Yeah, I think the big thing too is making sure your website can crawl or be crawled by AI, because there's, I think what Cloudflare and a couple
Yeah.
hosting companies, they block it, which
Yeah.
I laugh. I'm like, why? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, that's right. So as I said, the technical SEO is going to be really critical, making sure that your website is getting indexed, getting crawled, it's a clean website with no errors, and then you want to focus more towards these platforms.
Yeah. Okay. All right, cool. How have you seen agencies sell, AI services to their clients?
So there are a lot of innovative ways that agencies are selling this, and this is like a huge opportunity for agencies to kind of increase their recurring revenue through AI search optimization. The first thing that we saw is like agencies have started selling AI search audits. So they are charging like $1,500 to $2,000 for the audit only. So now, like you mentioned, like foot in the door offer, where they can literally say that, let us check what's going on your website. Let us do a quick AI search audit. See if you are getting ranked on LLMs or not. If not, then what are the competitors are ranking right now? We'll give you an audit. So the one way they are selling is like starting point is like AI search audits. So they have like 3-tier package, which is like, let's say a starter pack or standard pack or a pro package, right? So they will put them onto the highest tier, which is like AI search optimization package. So that's like they are selling it separately. Some agencies, they are also selling this as an add-on. So for example, you are already doing SEO for your clients. Now the clients come back and say, hey, we want to see how you are doing with LLM or AI search optimization, or can you help us rank in ChatGPT? Then what they will do is like they will sell this as an add-on that will charge you, let's say, 1,500 to 2,000 extra, and then will give you these services. So one is AI search audits. That's a starting point. Agencies are also selling content audits as well to see that if these websites are like having the AI ready content or not, and then the full package. So these are the ways that they are selling it right now.
Yeah, I see a lot of our members, and which are a lot of your clients as well, like Victor. He's been selling it like crazy to his existing clients. I'd be like, well, you want to be ranked on Google, but how often do you go to Google anymore for searches? Just asking them that and be like, well, this is what we're doing. And I always tell everybody too, especially with something new, when the web came out or social came out and all that kind of stuff, because I'm a dinosaur now. But, when all these new things come out, it's just like being upfront with them, be like, look, no one has the perfect handle on this, but these are the things that we're going to do. And these are the things where you want to go and where you want to be. And if you can kind of position yourself as that advisor to your clients, where they're constantly coming to you for problems, right? Rather, like if your clients are already coming to you and asking you about AI and you haven't really kind of brought that conversation, you're already behind the ball. You're already behind the ball, because they're probably getting hit up by all these other people talking about AI. And then they're coming to you and be like, oh yeah, we could do that. And then they're like, they kind of lose a little bit of trust there. So I want everyone listening, go to your clients and start asking them and directing them to what they need. They're looking at you as an advisor. So be an advisor, not an order taker. If you're an order taker, yes, AI is going to replace you, or the people that use AI is going to replace you. But if you are more of that advisor, because people want that connection. I was talking to someone the other day, and they're scared to death. They were like, I went to this huge advertising conference. I think it was like Ad Age or something like that. And this one lady was like, I built an AI tool and I'm closing down my agency because agencies are going away. Right. and I was like, you're an idiot. Like, like people are always going to want someone to help them guide. What you do may be different, right? Like you may not do the things you've been doing for the past decade the same way. Like you'll have to adapt. And it's like with everything, like we've adapted over the years. We've taken our lumps, we're taking our lumps now. Like let's get through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Because now, for example, a business owner is not going to have a time. Let's say if you're running a restaurant, you're not going to have a time to do your marketing or your, let's say, AI search optimization, or they just need the results, right? They are busy running the restaurant rather than focusing on the marketing. And that's you that you are going to do the job for them. Obviously, if someone go to on internet and learn how to build a website, if a restaurant owner learns how to build a website before the age of AI, they are definitely going to build it, but they don't have the time. You are going to do it. So it's obviously you that is going to make the change.
Well, I look at it too. I used to joke with people when we would sell websites, and I would go to, the prospect, and I'd be like, "Do you want to know why everyone in your industry looks the same?" They'd be like, "Why?" Well, because everyone always asks the same question. What websites do you like? Which means which websites are we going to copy? So I'm kind of going over that because if you're going to let AI, like there's going to be companies and there's going to be a one-man company. And I've already seen these bullshit ads. Hey, fire all these agencies and I'm going to use this AI agent to create all this. And I'm like, yeah, that will work for creating average bullshit, right? And it will be okay.
Yeah.
But it's going to make everyone look the same. So now there's no differentiation. There's kind of 2 or 3 different edges I feel that people for agencies going forward. One is all the data that they have, which is unique.
Yes.
2 is your network that you have. Like I always talk about this in the mastermind. I'm like, look, guys, 6 months ago, things are totally different. So if you're constantly relying on other things in the past, you're already behind. So make sure your network is your edge. And the other thing is that personal connection. We need to talk to people.
That's right.
Versus having some stupid bot do everything. I love agent bots. I love AI agents for certain things. But if it's going to replace the communication, like we're supposed to be social beings, right? That's never going to go away.
And that's been going on in the SEO industry as well. Like every now and often you will see that people are talking about SEO is dead, right? But they're not understanding that SEO is not dead, it's evolving, right? The way that people are searching, it's just changing. Now people used to search on Google, now they are searching on LLMs, right? But then they are going to find your product, they are going to find your business because that's the only way that they are going to get in touch with you. And then once they find it, it's you that they're going to talk to, and how you provide your service is going to matter.
Yeah. And look, I laugh at people like, Neil Patel trying to change the dumb name so they can brand it, whatever, and I even mentioned his stupid name, right? Like it's SEO. It's just like when digital marketing came out, everyone called it digital marketing. No, it's marketing. People like to kind of claim certain, stupid terms. I just always like to go back to the basics and go and look, I'm going to go to the LLMs and I'm going to search for something. So what is that? Search optimization. Maybe
that's
not,
correct.
right? Like it's just it. So I always laugh when people try to make up names. I'm like, I want to make up a name for them.
Yeah, your end goal should be like you need to be found wherever
That's
your
right.
users are, wherever you are. People are searching for. You need to be there. Whether
That's
you
it.
call it SEO or whether you call it GEO or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But then, and your end goal should be like you need to be there where people are searching for.
And like that's what I love about some of our members that are hugely successful. The ones that are most successful are the ones that think like a caveman and communicate like a caveman because they make it so simple. The people that want to feel important, they'll make up terms like GEO and all these terms, but they confuse the hell out of all of us, the rest of normal people. And when you can relate to people, I'm like, look, you just want to be found. Let me help you with that. Like, just make it simple. Versus everyone else talking about, we're going to do this markup language and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
at the end of the day, the business owner will need that how many leads you are generating for us, right?
Yeah.
However you are doing it, whatever you are doing it, doesn't matter how many phone calls that we are getting. That's the end of the day.
Make it simple. Go back to the basics. You know,
Yeah.
I always use a story when I was playing tennis in college. I was losing against this one opponent that like literally wasn't even ranked, was horrible. Like I was just having an off day. And my coach just goes, "Hey, jackass, go back to the basics. You're overthinking it." Right. And then I was able to come back and beat him. So, you know, it's just like same thing in business. Like when things get hard a little bit, just like go back to the basics and go, "Oh, okay. Like that makes sense." So
Absolutely.
well, awesome. Well, it was great having you on. For everyone listening, make sure you guys go check out E2M Solutions. They're amazing. They're a great mastermind member, a great partner. They'll be at Elevate with us coming up in April. So make sure you go check out e2msolutions.com, right? That's .com, right? Okay.
That's right.
I always hate when people don't have the .com because it just gets really confusing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And yeah, definitely if anyone's got any questions, they need any help with, let's say, how to put together like an AI search audit or how to convince the clients, we literally send agency owners like an email templates that this is what you can do, like this is what the internal email campaigns that you can do, educate the clients about how it's going to change. Definitely get in touch. We'll be happy to kind of walk you through the process and give away the audits that we use so that you can use the same.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on the show. And everyone, until next time, have a swank day.